To declare who we are. Nobody gets to name what we're for but us.
Right.
What do the Tea Parties stand for? Here it is. Freedom. The Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. If you're for this, you're with us. Principles together. Now let me explain the geography of this. Over there, that's the north side, right? Right, North Hills, East Hills, South Hills. We don't have West Hills, but West. See, Michelle is going to declare to you who we are from our founding document, the Declaration of Independence. But I'm going to be facing sort of south and east towards Washington, D.C. And Michelle's going to read to you the key section of the Declaration of Independence. Now the problem with that is that was written in olden times, when they used big words and complete sentences. And some of the people down there have trouble with 18th century English, or trouble with reading, or are hard of hearing. So I'm going to translate into plain English for them what Michelle will declare to you. And I can't help but notice that along this line of sight is not just what Grant Street is over there, and Harrisburg is over there. So let's kill three birds with one stone.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another.
Sometimes in life, you have to make some changes.
And to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them.
And stand up for yourself and your neighbors with dignity, the way that God made us.
Yes.
A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
At times like this, we should explain to the world what we stand for, because we should care what people think, but we should care more about what is right.
People need truths to be self-evident.
Some things are just obvious.
That all men are created equal.
That no one was made so that they could lord it over the rest of us.
They are endowed by their Creator
God gave us gifts.
Yes.
with certain inalienable rights.
And the gifts that God gives cannot be taken away by men or governments.
That among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
These gifts include the right not to be murdered, enslaved, or stolen from.
That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men.
The only reason we have government in the first place, and the only reason that you have jobs, is because we lent them to you.
Deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
But when government stops protecting those rights and turns around and attacks them,
That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends,
we're allowed to make some changes. In fact, we are supposed to.
it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it.
And get something better than what we have now.
To new government.
Built on solid principles with limited government.
Laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form.
Only the powers that we give to you.
as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Because we're the ones who get to decide what's good for us.
Yes.
Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes.
We should not push for change just for change's sake.
And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
People like us would rather be home with our families or at work providing for them than going to protests.
But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism.
But there are limits to our patience, and you have passed them.
It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
So we are doing what we're supposed to do at times like this. We're getting new people who we trust to do the job better than you have.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms.
We've asked nicely.
Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury.
But you have insulted us.
Therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world.
So we're taking our case to the real Supreme Court, the one that rules in heaven.
For the rectitude of our intentions.
And we ask that court to rule on whether our motives and our cause are just.
And for the support of this declaration with a firm reliance on the protection of the divine providence.
And we ask God to protect us and one another.
Yes.
We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
And we're putting it all on the line. Our lives, our money, and even our good names. Let's sum it up in one word. What do we want from them? Freedom! Freedom! We want bailout? No! We want freedom! We want a president who bows to the king of Saud? No! And to the dictator of China? No! As for me, and as for the American people, we bow only to one.